Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this video tutorial for grade 4 mathematics. In this video we are going to start learning about 3D shapes. Previously we learned about 2D shapes, and we learned that 2D shapes are the shapes that have the length and width only. So what is the main difference between a 2D shape and a 3D shape? The main difference is a 2D shape don't have any thickness, while a 3D shape will have the thickness also. It means when we are saying the 3D shape, it will have the length, the width, and height, or we use the word thickness for the height. So it has all these three dimensions. That is why we call it 3D shape. 3D full form will be three-dimensional shapes. Like right now, one shape is shown here in front of you. I can say this is the length, this one is the length, this one is the width, and this one is the height or thickness also, you can say. So for a three-dimensional shape, it should must have all the three dimensions. And remember, all the things around us, the real objects are always in the 3D shape. There is no real object which will be a 2D. All the real objects are 3D. Now, there are different shapes in 3D which are we can have their properties. The first one is a cube. So let's talk about the properties of a cube. Right now you can see here the diagram on your screen. It's a cube. For a cube, these are the faces of the cube. You can see these are the face. This one is called the vertex, and this one is called the edge. So if we look at a cube, it has all its faces in a square shape. I mean, all the faces in the cube are in the square shape. So let's count about the number of faces in a cube. If we look at this one, the front face and the back face too. This one third, and this one fourth, fifth, and sixth. So total there are 6 faces in the cube. And all the plane angles in the cube are right angle. I mean, if you look for the angles for each face, if I will separately draw the each face, there will be 6 squares in it. Like there are the 6 squares in it, which we call are the faces. All are equal squares. So each face has 4 right angles in it. So we can say the plane angles of the cube are the right angles, and all the sides in the cube are of the equal dimensions, mean length, width, and height are equal. In the cube, the length will be equal to the width, and width will be equal to the height. All three are equal, and each of the face meets the other 4 faces. Like right now you can see here this face will meet the other 4 faces here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. So all 4 faces it is meeting, and the edges opposite to each other are parallel. Like this edge, they will be parallel, they will never meet. If we take this edge or this edge, they will be parallel to each other. So total there are 6 faces in the cube and 12 edges. If we count the number of edges each face is having, so we can count the number of edges. So these are some properties of the cube. And the next three-dimensional shape that we have to talk about is a cuboid. There is a slight difference between a cube and cuboid. Like in the cube, length, width, and height are all equal, but in a cuboid, they will not be equal. Like you can see here, this one is the length here, this one is the width, this one is the height. You can say this is the length, this is width, and this is height. So the length, width, and height are not equal in the cuboid, but it has 6 faces and all are rectangular. In this given shape, all are rectangular, but sometimes some faces we can have the square as well in the cuboid. The total number of the faces in the cuboid are 6. You can even count here, there are 6 faces. This one, this two, 3, one on the top, one on the bottom, one front, one back, one here, and one here. So total there are 6 faces. And there are 8 corners. You can even count the total number of the corners are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there are 12 edges. You can count the 12 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The total number of the edges are 12 in the cuboid. So the main difference in the cube and cuboid is cube has the length and width equal, while in the cuboid the length and width are not equal. Now, right now, as if I will draw a cube here, let me draw a cube here. I have a cube here, and let me try to draw it perfectly if I could. Hopefully I will be able to draw it perfectly. Okay, let's join these over here. This one is a simple cube that I'm going to draw over here. And if I will draw a cuboid, the cuboid is going to be like this way. Okay, I'm going to draw this cuboid, and then here in the middle you can make this one. I'm trying to keep the sides equal, but as I'm not using any scale here, so might be a little difference in the sides length, so don't worry about that. This one is a cuboid. Now, if we look at the cube and the cuboid, each one is having 6 faces. If we separately make their faces, convert this 3D shape into a 2D shape. If I will open, I can have the 6 faces. For this cube, these are like, I will say, these are the 6 faces, third face, fourth face, fifth face, and the 6th face. All are square. And for this one, if I will have these two will be similar, two rectangles, these two rectangles will be similar, and these two rectangles will be similar. So if I open them and convert them into the 2D shape, then this representation is called net. What do we call it? Net. So net, I will say, it's a 2D diagram. It's a 2D diagram that can be folded, to make a 3D shape. So for any particular 3D shape, if we fold it and we get exactly a 3D shape, then we will call that diagram as a net. For example, let me say I'm going to draw here one of these now a 2D representation I'm going to draw. Here I have another one here. Here I have another one, and then the next one, another one here, and another one here, and another one here. So this is, if we fold it, after folding, if you make the required shape, then I will say it is a net. If we don't make that shape perfectly, then we will say it is not the net of that shape. So about the net in detail, inshallah, we will learn in our coming lesson that we have tomorrow. But you have to remember this basic arrangement, that if we make the arrangement of a 3D shape into 2D, so then we call it a net. But every arrangement will not be a net. Sometime it can be, sometime we will say it's not a net if it will not make that required shape. Like right now, if you will fold it, you have to, what you need to do is, it's an activity for you. You will draw this shape on a page, and after that cut it and try to fold it. After folding, if it will make a cube, then we will say it's a net of cube. If it don't make a perfect cube, then we will say it's not a net of the cube. Like, you just need to cut it from the paper. After cutting it from the paper, you will fold it. And if after folding it make a cube, then it will be the net. Otherwise it will not be the net. But in more detail we will learn inshallah in our next lesson. So see you next time. Bye bye.